Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I don't know what the weather's been like by you guys, but it's nice to see the snow melting. So it's been a crazy winter. So can everybody hear me okay? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to start off the meeting. I'm Catherine O'Hare Rogers, and I'm the Vice President and Compliance Officer for MARR. Um, I'd like to start off today by introducing the operator of the month. The operator of the month is with a mother's touch. So we have a representative here for Mother's Touch. Not yet. Give her another minute. And then we actually have it's Crystal King. Crystal, you on here? So you're muted. We're going to have somebody from the Fletcher group talk today too for about 10 minutes or so. There's a survey that they're doing and they wanted an opportunity to talk to everybody. Um, so one more chance, the Mother's Touch. Crystal, are you on here?
I don't see her on.
Okay. So Mother's Touch is the operator of the month for the month of February. She runs a women's specialty home here in Grand Rapids and a small 6-bed home, and she does a good job. And she's a great example too of an operator that is doing it because she cares about what she's doing and she wants to make a difference, which is huge. Can you make a healthy living running a sober living home? Yeah, there you can do that, and it's honorable to you're making a living and you're changing lives and helping people at the same time. But running, as some of you know, a home with women and children, boy, that puts a lot of extra stress and things that go on every day that you don't typically have to deal with. But she does it because she cares and she does an amazing job. So thank you, Crystal, for all you do. So is somebody from Fletcher Group on here?
I'm here.
Great. Matt? Okay. Well, Matt, I'll let you have the floor for about 10 minutes or so. Go ahead and talk to the operators on what you're looking for.
Great, thank you. So my name's Matt Johnson. I am the director of faith-based initiatives with the Fletcher Group. Fletcher Group is a rural center of excellence in recovery. We're noted by HRSA to be a federally recognized rural center of excellence in recovery, as well as a HUD center of excellence in recovery. And so our role is to train and support communities and organizations across the country in building recovery ecosystems. And we do that in a lot of ways. We work with a lot of folks in different places, helping design programming or design research or design great opportunities for folks like you that are doing on the ground work. We work in 50 states across, we work in all 50 states. I think right now currently we have projects in 38 states. And thanks to many of our funding mechanisms, we can, particularly in rural communities, we work at no cost. And then if folks want to work with us through our HUD Center of Excellence, that's also taken care of there. So we can provide some really great opportunities. And I just wanted to highlight, if I can, do you know if I can share my screen, Catherine? I'm going to try.
Kayla, you're
That's
muted.
okay.
Yeah, you should
Kayla,
be able to.
yeah, Kayla can
Okay.
help you with that.
All right. Let me try this. So I just want to give you a real brief overview of some of the work that we do in case you're not familiar. Um, we have one of the resources that we have is an online learning center that has about 80 courses. Some of them are NADAC approved for CEUs. That's free, so you can enroll and visit our online learning center. And you'll see there's a QR code, and we're happy to share that, or you can visit our website at fletchergroup.org and learn about our online learning center. It's for operators, it's for residents, it's for community members and board members. And like I said, there's about 100 courses there that are right there right now. One of the things we've got access to is an economic calculator. We have a health economist on our team that will give you a cost benefit analysis of your recovery house, either as an individual or as a state. We've done some economic surveys. But what this does is it uses numbers to break down exactly the number of people that you serve and what that costs and what that benefits you. It's great for grant applications to see, you know, our ROI per dollar invested. We return, $12 in direct cost savings and $75 in all benefits. And so again, it's a tool that if you fill out the form, we're happy to send you, and our health economist will fill out and send that back to you, and we'll give you some great information about the project and the program that you work in. We also offer monthly webinars, grant writing. The one last month was about the oh my goodness, uh, um, about a different kind of I'm just trying to blank around the kind of therapy. It's with the needles. With little needles and
Acupuncture?
Acupuncture?
acupuncture. Yeah, acupuncture therapy and detox. So thank you. But there's all kinds of opportunities that we have there. We also run an employment training cohort where we do training for employment coaches. And so folks from your organization could join that. We run that quarterly. And so that will help you more engage with employers in your community and build those relationships will help your residents. As part of that, we do workforce development initiatives that helps things about social enterprise and things like that. But I want to talk about um, the faith-based MOUD survey. So, as I mentioned, I'm the director of faith-based initiatives for the Fletcher Group, and I've worked with a couple organizations in Michigan, mostly just north of Grand Rapids in the Big Rapids area and in Greenville, Michigan. But one of the things that I've seen is that there's a sometimes there's a difference in the way that our faith-based operators think about MOUD and the way that our non-faith-based operators think about MOUD. And we're trying to learn more about what recovery support services are offered in each of those kind of places and learn more about the policies and procedures behind medications and also in some ways I would say the ideology behind those medication processes. We want to understand more the challenges that are encountered by program operators around MOUD and MAT. And so we've developed a short survey. It will take you 10 to 12 minutes to fill out that will ask you about the policies and practices that your house uses around MAT and MOUD, as well as psych meds. And we'd love to have it filled out by both non-faith-based operators and faith-based operators so we can kind of compare the two of them. And we'll
Matt,
start to see, yes,
can I interrupt for a minute? Could you
yeah,
explain what MOUD is again? We know what MAT is, but
yes.
explain what
MOUD
that is.
is that's the new. It's the same as MAT. It's medications for opioid use disorder, and that is currently the language that 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 HRSA wants us to use when we talk about Suboxone or methadone or those kind of things.
Instead
So
of MAT?
correct,
Okay.
yes, that's currently from a federal government perspective. That's currently the accepted language, the
Well,
accepted
because my
wording.
understanding is MAT can be used for alcohol use as well. It's
Mhm.
not just for opioid use disorder. So, but they prefer to do the medication opioid use disorder.
Yeah, that's currently the preferred language.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, so I think um, MARR is going to send out the survey. Like I said, there's a link, and if you would be willing to fill it out for us and let us know kind of your processes around that, it would be really beneficial to the research that we're trying to do to learn more about the ways that different organizations and operators think about that and the decisions that they make. So that is the main piece I wanted to share with you, but I just wanted to give you an overview a little bit about some of the work that Fletcher Group does in case we can help serve your organization or your operation and work with you on some of the work that you're doing. And my contact is there. My information, mjohnson@fletchergroup.org. you can feel free to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to connect you to one of my colleagues that's doing some of the work if I'm not the best person to get connected to you. But yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about that and briefly talk about Fletcher Group in case folks weren't aware of the work that we did.
Kayla, do you have the information that you need now to be able to send this out to all the operators, or is there something else you need from Matt to do
Did
that?
you send me the survey, Matt? Or
I'll
did you
send it to
send over?
you. Yeah, I will make sure it's sent to you right after we get done here, Kayla.
Okay, perfect.
Are there any questions for Matt about Fletcher Group or anything else that that they're providing? Do you have any questions about what was talked about today?
Yes, I do have a question. My name is James Harris, and I work for Reach Sober Living in Kalamazoo,
Mhm.
and I'm the Director of Community Engagement. And Matt, I noticed on your title that you are the Outreach and Engagement Specialist. So what I'm trying to do is to connect with individuals on how are they engaging their community to keep their organizations before the community, and then
Mhm.
also learn more about, the particular or possible partnership within the community. So Matt, I was wondering if you had any leads in that area to assist me in my development.
So you're trying to you're help me understand, James. You're trying to ask local organizations or recovery housing organizations what they're doing around outreach and engagement, or community connection, or stakeholder development. Help me understand exactly what you're.
What, well, again, my role is to keep Reach Sober Living in front of our community,
Mhm.
right? And then also to learn what other similar organizations to help us move our work forward and their work forward. So I'm just trying to locate spaces where I can get trained to become a better community engagement director. How
Gotcha.
how do we do that
Gotcha.
more effectively?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I have an idea about trainings, but I do have resources that I could offer you around kind of being clear around who those stakeholders are, and then how you start to do outreach to them and what that looks like. One of the things that I do a lot of, and I could, offer you at some point as an affiliate, is I do trainings around public speaking and storytelling, and so I help operators figure out how to become better public communicators and how to story the work that your organization does, so that when you go out into those communities, you can tell the story really clearly and really well
Yeah.
about the work that you're trying to do. And so I trained folks all over the country, particularly in storing your work and communicating that clearly and developing an impactful kind of presentation or conversation with those organizations, so that when you get in front of a Rotary Club, when you get in front of a faith-based organization, when you get in front of a group of county commissioners, when you get in front of somebody, you're able to clearly communicate the incredible work that you're doing. I say it all the time. The folks who do the work that you do have a front row seat to transformation, and we need to make sure we're telling that story well so that other people can see the same thing. And I know where you're coming from, because I founded and operated recovery house in my community for about 3 years, and still I don't oversee the day to day, but I still do a lot of the work with that. And so I understand what it looks like to make sure we're telling that story well, and managing NIMBYism and managing community pressure and all those kind of things. So at some point, I would love to talk to you about what that can look like and what that might be as well. So
Okay, thank you. I'll get in contact with you.
yeah, please do. And
Yes,
I'd be
sir.
happy to offer that to anybody across across your affiliate as well.
Oh, you're muted, Catherine.
Great question. Thank you. Is there anybody else that has a question for Matt? Thank you, Matt, so much
Thanks for having me. It's
for
nice to
your
see you all.
time. Yep. So make sure you send Kayla the survey, and she'll get that
I'll do
out
that
to
right
the
now.
operators. And once they take the survey, it'll automatically just go to you, correct? You don't
Correct.
need
Yep.
anything forwarded. Okay. Perfect.
No.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great
Appreciate it.
afternoon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, anybody have any questions about anything so far? I introduced at the beginning of the meeting a Mother's Touch as operator of the month, and she wasn't on, but she's on now. So, Crystal, do you want to take a few minutes and talk about a Mother's Touch and the services you provide? And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
There she
you.
is. Yeah. So tell us about a Mother's Touch.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Crystal with the Mother's Touch. What we do, we provide sober living for single moms with a minor child. The child is up to the age of 5. And we have capacity right now for 5 moms. We're currently full. And moms can stay with us for up to 2 years now. We changed that. It was 12 months because we learned that at 12 months, when mom is, doing the work she needs to do, is employed and all of that, that 12-month mark is like a huge turnaround for her. So we want to allow time. We do accept MOUD, as I just heard that they're changing that for opiate addiction and things of that nature. We have 2 part-time contractual house managers that is helping us out right now. And we are a community builder, meaning we make sure that our moms are connected to mental health services, recovery coaches, and make sure baby has a pediatrician, making sure mom and baby have what they need to thrive. And we're huge on building community within the house and trying to help moms connect to outside recovery resources. I'm very grateful.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions for Crystal? You're one of the smallest women's
Resident.
specialty homes here in the state. You're here in Grand Rapids, but there's some much larger ones throughout the state. As well. And they're needed. And we need more. And that's a large reason why there's a lot of women, they don't get the help that they need because what am I going to do with my kids? So one thing that you mentioned that I noticed, you take them up to 5 years old. So that can be a barrier too. So now you got women that have a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old. And so I know that there's places that they'll take them up to like 11 or 12, but then once they hit puberty, then you got some other stuff going on, if there's other kids in the home with that same age, that can be a little bit more. So there's a lot of different factors that play into having a well-run home and where do they go from there? So I'm glad that you expanded it to 2 years. They recommend minimum 6 months up to 2 years, but especially if they've got children, they've got a whole all these other issues that they're working with. So so thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
job. Anyone have any questions for Crystal?
Crystal, is your organization, do you also work with Network 180 or how is Network 180 either supported or decided not to support your organization? And for the others, Network 180 is the community mental health center that represents Kent County.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Preston. So right now, Network 180 contracts with us for program services and pays for the contracted staff that I have. That's kind of how. So we have been so far on I think we're in our 3rd year of this grant with Network 180. Right now, they don't provide program fees for our moms. So it was an either or. And I needed the help with staff. So, that's kind of how they help us through the PH2 grant right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, that sounds wonderful. I always appreciate what you do. It's good for all of us others that have mothers that are expecting or recently have expected that cannot service that population. It's always nice to have an organization like yours that's filling that niche.
Thank you. Thank you. We hope to be able to expand soon, probably within the next year or so, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you and I ought to do more talking. It might be a good investment opportunity. But
Awesome.
I don't want to take over the whole meeting, but go ahead.
Yes.
Ah,
I'm gonna
yeah, so
send you my number.
So Recovery Road, are you going to expand to women's specialty?
Yes.
There's grants out there for that kind of stuff. So there's, and you don't have to just depend on Network 180, Christo. There's other grants. There's grants available throughout the state. And I'd reach out to some of the other operators like Flint Odyssey and stuff like that actually do that as well and see what those grants are. So there's money out there for you to help you expand. So
Thank you.
thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, actually, we did just apply for a couple of other grants. I had hired a grant writer to kind of help get us going on that. So fingers crossed, we got a couple of grants out there that we're waiting to hear back on.
Good. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Speaking of expanding, I was just curious. We did send out an email to all of you about somebody that had a bunch of residences available for certificate or for recovery residences and stuff. There was several addresses and photos and stuff like that. Did anybody end up working with them or like reaching out to them about that? That's on this meeting. I was just curious if anything came from it.
From what I remember, it was kind of the greater Detroit area. So
Okay.
since I'm on the west side,
So when we forward that information to you guys, it's important to you that you do your homework and see who this person is. We get reached out to on a periodic basis where, hey, we got these homes. Can you, let your, operators know? But I tell them typically, well, we'll send something out or you can reach out to them individually. But this isn't somebody that we are like, yes, work with this person. We have not vetted that person or that organization. It's an opportunity. So we forward you the information as a possible opportunity to grow. So if there's a way to grow without having to purchase a home and you can, lease a home and I do the same thing. We get calls on people that have, they're an individual person. I think this other place was like, they were a realtor and they had, all these homes. We get calls and stuff from individuals that have their own single family home. They're interested in running recovery residents. They don't even know where to start. So I spend some time with them on the phone on, kind of the way things are. But first thing I do, I recommend that they take the training so that they're trained on the national standards, which is how all the homes should be run. Even if they chose not to move forward with a certification, they should want to know that they're running the home right. So I recommend they do that. But then I also recommend that they consider possibly reaching out to another certified operator. Go to the website and scroll to the county where you're currently in, but also expand out of that county because there's operators in different counties that want to expand across the state. So I leave it up to that person, and it's a recommendation that I have for them while they're learning the ropes. They could partner possibly with another certified operator that knows what they're doing. The home could be useful, help you expand, but at the same time, that home would then be covered under your certification while the person's learning how to do this. Because sometimes people be like, once they figure out it's not, just as easy as opening the door and collecting all the program fees, right? I'm very honest with them. People come in with absolutely nothing and you're waiting for them to find a job and they come home with that first paycheck and they'll just pack their stuff and leave without even paying, along with your bedding and the living room TV, right? So I just, worst case scenario, things happen. So it's really important that they have a more realistic picture on it's not always going to be great and you're not always going to be full. And that takes time to build that reputation, but to partner with somebody that's already got it figured out and has a contract. If I was to do it again, which I won't, But if I was to do it again and I was a brand new operator, to me, that's the smartest way, business wise, to go, because then you're going to be able to learn the ropes. Because otherwise, if you don't do it right, you can do more damage than good. So it's important to do it right. So on that note, I wanted to introduce, Kayla's going to share the form. We get a lot of calls, several calls at least a month, from individuals that have a home and they like to open up a recovery residence, and hey, can you come look at my home? And I'm just like, no, we don't look at homes unless they're, and even for current operators, you expand and you open up a single family home, and we can't go look at a home unless it's up and running as a recovery residence for at least 30 days with people living in it. So you got to look at your first intake, especially for new operators. That's the date. Go 30 days from then. That's when they can actually fill out an application and start that process. So what we decided to do is try to fill a need. So we came up with MARR pre-assessment review. So a MARR pre-assessment review is something that not mandated, they don't have to do it, but it gives somebody an option if they want somebody from MARR to go there and physically and look at a single family home. This isn't for a congregate home or huge apartment building. This is for a single family home. Somebody has a single family home. They don't have anybody living in there, and they just want somebody to come through and see what they need to do to get things ready. They can pay, it's $500 to have somebody from MARR go out there and review that address. Do you have the tool, Kayla? And
yeah.
what we did, we came up with the tool. I think you have it under the documents where they can print it off. There it is. So we came up with a tool, assessment review tool. This would be the tool. It's 7 pages. It's basically what we do now, except it's very detailed, and there's little check boxes by every single thing. And there's enough spaces for like 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms and stuff like that. This tool is something anybody can print off. Any of you guys want to print it off, or anybody interested in opening a home and they just want to review their own place, they can just print this off for free and use your own checklist. Again, it's a tool just to kind of, give it to your house managers, too, for, before you're ready for a site review, getting your home prepared, or if there's another home you're looking at. It's got all the checklists, it's got square footage, and make sure everything's at least 3 feet away from the furnace. And at the very last page, I wrote a bunch of best practices. That's one thing that I've really benefited from being a previous operator, being able to go all over the state and see what everybody does. I've been able to say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. If I was running homes again, that would be the perfect best practice. That's a perfect thing to do. I mean, why try to go through all the barriers of, that didn't work. It's going to cost me more money to try something different. Here's some best practice suggestions for people on what to do and how best maybe to prepare their home. We don't want them to put all new carpeting in their home, right? Ideally, avoid carpet. That's the best practice. Do something that can be cleaned and less expensive, isn't going to have need the upkeep. So that's an example. So just wanted to show this is something new that MARR's doing. So if there is a certified operator, you want to open up another place and you want us to come look at it, it would be $500 for us to come look at it. It is not tied to certification. Somebody, especially that's not certified, they're looking to open up a home and, they pay for us to come out and look at it. This form would be filled out and they get a copy of it. And that's their tool to use so they know what they need to fix and what they need to work on. But it does not mean they're guaranteed a certification. It is not tied, doesn't mean you're going to pass zoning in your area. It doesn't mean that, you should still make sure that you have an electrician look at all your stuff and have a building inspector so they can look at your foundation and plumbing. There's a lot of deeper things that need to be looked at with a home than what MARR does. If it's something that's noticed, I'll write it down and we'll bring it to their attention. But that's not something, we're not electricians, not a building inspector. We would look at the home with the eyes as the entity. This is what we see and what you need to do to prepare your home to become a recovery residence. So I think it would be a great tool. Again, anyone can print the tool off and use it, however you want. But if somebody wants to physically have MARR go out and look at a home that is not up and running, at least 30 days as a recovery residence, it's an option for you to pay for us to come out and actually look at it. Otherwise, that's part of your certification. Are there any questions about that?
It's right underneath the documents available for convenience, that where all of the other documents are that are available to you guys. It's the very first one.
What website is that?
One more time.
What website is that?
This is our website, michiganarr.com.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
I can attach this to my post-meeting follow-up as well, just so
Okay.
it's there. But this page is our applications become certified tab. That's everything to do with your certification. That's where you'll find anything that you need, including those documents, the MARR trainings, this is the assessment tool to pay for. Yes, right below that.
And again, it's not for you guys, unless you want us to come out and look at a place that's not up and running, then it would be
Right.
$500 to have
A new
us come
home
out.
that you got.
Right, but most certified operators probably wouldn't do that because you already know what you're doing and you're already running a home. So, but then you have the tool, the checklist that you can print off, so you can kind of check things over yourself and give it to somebody. It's very simplified, very detailed. So I'm hoping that'll be a useful tool for everybody. And again, that doesn't cost anything. Anyone can print that off. Any questions about that? All right. Next thing I want to introduce Kelly. We got a few little changes and excited about. And Kelly, go ahead and talk about that.
Hello, everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces that I've been able to work with in RECCAP through MARR. We do need to make an announcement today. So essentially, we did have the funding cut for the RECCAP program by the state. It's been a while, and we have been maintaining the system and moving forward business as usual. But we have gotten to a place where MARR does need to take a step back from the Behave platform and the RECCAP recovery evaluation. That doesn't.
Just one second. Kayla, she's very echoey. Can you fix that?
Oh, she's not echoing on my side.
It's very echoey here. So, okay, go ahead, Kelly.
Is that any better if I get closer, maybe?
That's better.
Okay, so essentially, as I said, MARR is stepping back from the Behave platform and the RECCAP evaluations. That in no way, shape, or form reflects how we feel about both items. We still 100% support the RECCAP evaluations and the intent behind them, as well as the Behave platform. There have been no complications, no complaints necessarily from MARR regarding the platform. Again, it's a funding thing, and I am sure that pretty much everyone on the call can completely understand that and has gone through that in one way or another at one time. The good news that I'm excited to be able to share with you is that you will be able to remain using the system through June 1st, free of charge, Behave, as you have been, business as usual. I will be stepping back March 1st from not servicing as in help desk or shoot me an email if you need type of thing, only in onboarding new operators, opening up new portals, things of that nature. So what did that look like moving forward from June 1st for our operators? In conversations with Behave Health, they have communicated to us that they are willing to offer this platform to operators at a substantial savings. And when I say substantial, I'm saying $1.50 to $3 per bed a month for servicing. Now this
That's
is for
amazing.
it's next to nothing, and it's an amazing platform. I mean, if you guys have been able to use it and you really get into it and see all the benefits, not only of just the evaluations and the information that you're able to get from that, but your client management. I mean, you can do boards, you got workflows, you got to-dos, you got messaging, you got geolocation for $1.50 per resident up to $3. So let me clarify, when I say $1.50 to $3, that's for their light. So that would be for a home, smaller home. Crystal, you'd be a good example. And then there's also the pro, which could be from $3 to $6 a month per bed. So this is a substantial, essentially
so
a
much
gift.
less. They were originally, when MARR was getting funding from the state, that we haven't had funding for a rec cap since March 27th of last year. So we believe in it. So we've kept it up. We've kept things going, even though we haven't been paid for it, but we've kept things going. But understanding that the holder of the platform, Behave Health, they need to be paid. They can't continue without being paid. So there's this opportunity of having this gentle handoff. So nothing has to change with you guys. Nothing has to change for your residents and the stuff you're providing. Still do it. But as of June 1st, you're going to start paying, but it's so minimal. If the original cost was anywhere from $12 to $15 per bed, and MARR was going to be paying $12,500 per month to have this service free for you guys, well, they're going to do it for $1.50 to $3 per bed for you guys, or up to $6 for the pro. I mean, that's so doable for you guys. And if there's an operator that still finds, oh my gosh, things are really tight, we're really struggling with coming up with the money, they're still going to work with you. So that's amazing that, because they see the bigger picture and the benefit of this. So please continue this. It's worth that. What Crystal cost you less than $20 a month, right? So it's like, why wouldn't you do that? Because the bigger picture should be, what are we doing to help our residents? What are they getting from my program? And this is information that you can use as an operator when you're looking for funding, or when you're looking or working with the state, or whether you can say, well, look what I'm providing. Look at the data. That's so important to collect that, because if it's not in writing, it didn't happen, right? So there's very few operators that have been doing this, which has been disappointing. But I know a lot of operators are kind of doing their own thing, but where's that data going? Nowhere. It's not nationally, collected or anything. So you really need to think about that as well. It's up to you guys what route you want to take and who you like to work with. But this is an amazing opportunity. Sorry.
For sure.
I got passionate, so I had to cut in.
We're excited about this because it is a good platform, even the client management piece, let alone being able to collect all the data with the evaluations and pull reports. You're writing a grant, they want to know this, you push a button, create a report, and give them that information. I mean, that's how it is. So in light of, working together to make this as smooth as possible, we have scheduled a community of practice for the 18th, which is Wednesday, next week, Wednesday at 3 p.m. And we will be with Behave. And they are going to walk everyone through any questions they have, any concerns they have. You'll be able to get together with them to say, hey, what does it look like for us after June? They're going to be able to provide quotes for you. all of that information that you need, they will be there to provide that for you. If you want to use, Rec Cap, or if you want to use the Behave Lite as opposed to the Pro, they have a whole paper which is going to compare and contrast with a chart of what does what for who and what you need to have done. So we're really, really excited at how above and beyond, actually, we feel Behave has gone to support MARR and MARR's operators. So looking forward to that. I will be sending out invites. I'm not going to invite everyone. I'm just going to invite the individuals that are currently participating with the Rec Cap. That does not mean that other individuals, if they're interested or want to get information from the meeting that we have, are excluded. Please let me know. Reach out to me. I can put my email in the chat and I can add you to that invitation. But this is, if it had to happen, this is best case scenario. And we're just really excited to see that you guys are able to have the ability to continue at such a reasonable rate with, at this time with all the cuts, etc. Not as a huge burden to your budget, because we know everyone's kind of crunching numbers right now. So that's kind of the gist of what we're looking at. We're looking at, I'm going to step back March 1st. We won't be scheduling any new operators. Essentially, if you do want to join, we can get Behave on board and work with them on that. And then June 1st, if you are continuing, it would be under the understanding that you have made an arrangement with Behave and have some kind of contract on how you would like to continue services. And then MARR would just be completely removed from that.
Yep, and they'll be the help desk then moving forward.
Correct.
So this is a great time to have this opportunity happen as well, because soon you guys, whoever has contracts, it's the time of year, the next couple of months, your PIHP or whoever's going to be reaching out, and you're going to be needing to complete your contract, and what dollars you need and where those dollars are going to go. You can help. This is going to be a good time to budget in those dollars. So you can say, well, I need $100 extra a month or whatever to do this, or Krista, you're going to need $20 a month, right, to do the system. So if you want to budget that in, but it gives you a great opportunity. So when your new budget starts as of October 1st, you can just keep going with that. So we had tried to reach out to the state several times. We've been trying to where's the money? And it's just not coming for us. So that's why we had to kind of take a step back. But we didn't want anything to happen with the years. Kelly's been doing this for 5-6 years, working on Rec Cap with all the different changes and stuff to try to keep things going for you guys so that you have the information you need. And we still try to keep things going with the hope that the state would come through with funding, but they're just not. So again, this gentle handoff is the best thing possible that could happen for you guys and for the residents, that you're changing lives by having this available for them. Mm-hmm. And I want to thank Kelly for all your years of hard work and headaches. That's Rec Cap's been, you are Rec Cap with MARR, and it's been a struggle, but that's been her baby, and I know it's going to be hard for you to let it go, kind of a bittersweet, but it's been, again, that they're going to be in good hands and be able to continue the service. So great job, Kelly.
Well, thank you.
Does anybody have any questions?
Before that, I just want to say thank you to all of the operators that I have worked with. I look forward, I'll still be around, and it's going to be, my hardest thing is you guys, because I just really enjoyed working with you guys. You have taught me so much, and that's so appreciated. The knowledge that you guys have shared so freely, just so kind. And, you guys are awesome. And I enjoyed every minute of working with you guys, and your great questions and your valid concerns. And so just please know how much you're appreciated and supported still. I'm here, to back you guys up, and the team at Behave really seriously have just gone above and beyond to make sure that this can be carried on and continued for our operators. And that's just a great business mission, and that's essentially their mission. You know, they're doing this because they care and they see the value in it. So that's appreciated. So just know that all of your work of all of you is so appreciated.
So just so there's no confusion as well, I'm looking at the chat. There's different thing. Behave is currently the holder of the platform and what you guys have been using, and they've been sticking it out, not getting paid, you know, since last year. We paid them one big chunk so we could make monthly payments, but we hadn't had any money to make any payments. So they've been sticking this out and working with everything and keeping the platform running, even though they have not been getting paid. So but you can work with whoever you like. You know, that's your choice. There is another option, ROI, you know, but they don't really have everything. They're still trying to figure things out. So, and that's who was doing it in the beginning when it took over a year plus to get things going. Do your homework. Right now, you guys have been working with Behave for almost the last year, and they've been doing a great job. The platform's more simplified, and it's been very beneficial, but it's up to you guys. But if you do want to continue to use the system, you'll have to partner with the holder of the platform. Okay, so otherwise, as of June 1st, it's not going to be available to you. So this is your opportunity to have that continue and have that gentle handoff. So
How much was it per client or resident?
per bed is $1.50 to $3.
Thank you.
And that's for the one. And then there's a pro. So if you have several homes and there's other things, then the pro would be $3 to $6. But we were going to be paying $7. I mean, so I was shocked when they were like, oh yeah, these are the prices. And you know, so that's very doable. When you look at what do you charge per bed now? A lot of you charge $600, $650 a bed. Can you pay $5 a bed for that? You know, out of that.
I mean, raise your rent $1.50.
So I mean, it's very doable, very doable for you guys. I was very happy to hear that. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting them to say, "Well, we'll do the $7." You know, it's like
I didn't read it.
Yeah. So you gonna do it, Nate?
If the state is no longer financially supporting this data collection exercise that we do, has the state communicated at all on kind of how are they going to fill this void for data collection when it comes to policy making and financial allocations? No.
I'll let Glennis is a part of the meetings with the state, and they're still trying to figure it out. They don't know what route they want to take. That, you know, and who knows? The state moves slow. It could take them another year to try to figure things out and which way they want to go. But in the meantime, you guys are already doing it. You're already doing it, and it's so beneficial for the people that are coming through your doors and you as operators, you know, looking for funding. So the state's trying to figure it out. So that's the one thing we've learned with funding and some other things is just don't wait. Don't wait to do, you know, they may come up with something totally different, and which might be another option for you guys. But in the meantime, this is what's available. Glennis, are you on here? Do you want to add to that? What's going on with the meetings you attend? You're muted, Glennis. She's still muted. So, so yeah, so the state, there are meetings and it's in discussion, but they don't know what they want to do yet. They don't have a particular plan or they don't know what they want to do. Because there's so many different data things. There's ASAM, right? There's other things like level 4s, different things that they have to do, but that goes nowhere, right? There's not a lot of benefit to some of the stuff that's being collected, but everyone's trying to find one source that can be collected nationwide to do more benefits, and they're still trying to figure that out. So, any questions? That's a good question. Thank you, Kristen.
Sarah said, what are the data points that MARR will require providers to produce on a regular basis?
We're not working with any, we're certification.
Right.
MARR is strictly certification. As of March 1st, well, like Kelly said, she's not going to onboard anybody else or anything, but she'll still be available if you want to call her or whatever you have questions about stuff until June 1st. Then you'll be working directly with Behave Health or whoever you want. MARR's strictly certification. That's what we do. That's what we've always done. That was our whole purpose. We certify sober living homes. We certify RCOs, RCCs, and we're looking into certification for engagement centers. Should that come down the line, it sounds like, maybe they're going to be certified eventually. And the plan is for MARR to have that service available for them as well. A MARR certification is voluntary. So we don't force anyone to be certified, but if you have funding with an entity, part of the stipulation of having funding is being MARR certified. So that's where we step in and we do the certification. But otherwise, if you don't have funding, it is a voluntary thing. It's a service that is provided. Mm-hmm. So any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I just want to say to Kelly, thanks for everything. I'm sure Jason from Sober Living is going to be very, very hurt.
He already texted me 3 times.
He's not gonna.
You hear that, James? That's Jason.
He's not gonna know what to do with himself.
And that's
good. Kelly has become his best friend. So no, thanks for everything, Kelly.
Of course. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Always
Thank
for
you.
your support. Yeah, you did awesome. Appreciate you.
She's going to continue doing everything she can to make sure there's that gentle handoff. So things aren't going to change for you guys, except, it's not going to be free anymore. But, it's hard to look at that kind of rate that you're going to have to pay, and it's very doable. It's very doable. So thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. So any other questions about what we've talked about? Anything that we've talked about so far? One thing I wanted to bring up is Valentine's Day this Saturday. The reason I'm bringing that up is people that live in our home, just as a reminder, a lot of people, they're no longer with their spouses. The only support they have or family they have are people that are in your home. So it could be a very difficult time as well, knowing that they're not with their kids or they're not with their significant other. Or you got individuals like, oh, I got to hook up with somebody because it's Valentine's Day. So you want them to focus on their recovery. It's a great time. Do something nice for yourselves. Focus on, maybe they can, whatever, do something nice for themselves. Treat themselves to something, nice dinner or whatever, and focus on their recovery. Not focus on trying to find a relationship. And but it could be a difficult time going into the weekend. So anybody have anything? We got a few more minutes left. Anything you want to talk about, or anything going on with your program you'd like to share?
Well, I liked and appreciated that MARR sent out that video about the federal government and the Kennedys speaking. That was very informative to watch that, to kind of see what's going on.
Yes, that's so exciting to see that that's the route that they're taking. So things are going to change. Things are going to change in a positive way. Hopefully we'll see more resources and funding come our way so that you can open up more homes and get more funding for your beds and stuff. It's very exciting to see. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Hi, I just want to quickly say, I like that article as well, and I actually forwarded to the board members so they can kind of take a look, and see what's going on, with that. And then I just wanted to say we're also getting a volunteer, a person in recovery whose background is a dietitian. And so we get to introduce that to our moms here for healthier eating, you know. And so I'm really grateful, you know, to be able to have that too. So yeah, and thanks, Kelly, so much.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. So, you know, with Kennedy, he's all about, you know, the food pyramid and eating better and getting this crap out of our foods and, you know, and the stuff out of our diets and stuff. So watch that too as a home. Educate your residents. You know, you go to food pantries and there's things available and usually it's the crap food that's the cheapest and they'll come home with, you know, all their energy drinks and bags of chips and, you know, it's just like, yeah, you know, try to educate them as well. And, you know, there's a better way, you know, well, hey, maybe there could be a house meal once a week, you know, for the house meeting. I'll pitch in together and let's all bring healthy stuff and let's have a healthy meal for our house meeting or something. Just do little things to educate your residents on a healthier way of living as well. That doesn't just have to do with sobriety, but it has to do with the food and everything that they're putting in their bodies as well. So thank you, Crystal. All right. Anything else?
Oh, hey, it's Jason. I just wanted to let you know we got our bathroom up and running after the fire. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, we couldn't find any contractors that wanted to do the work. Luckily, we had some guys in the house. They were, you know, worked form of construction and stuff. So, yeah.
Nice. And that's another thing we got to remember. There's a lot of people that come through our doors that are gifted and they know they're electricians or they, you know, they know how to do this stuff. You know what? If you can't give back and help a place that's helping you stay sober, where are you going to get back at? You know, you don't expect them to do that for free.
No, I paid
but
it.
But you work with them and recognize the gifts that people have that are coming through your doors.
So we were lucky.
I'm glad. Good.
Yep.
What are you going to do differently now to make sure it doesn't happen again?
We're taking out all the exhaust fans, all the houses. No more exhaust fans.
No more. And now
I'm
you're going to have
kidding.
mold issues. Okay.
No. Nope.
Okay.
I mean, it was just a faulty wiring on an exhaust fan. So I don't know what
and a
more
newer
you could
house
do.
too. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just never know. So that's the thing. Bring up the pre-assessment tool. You know, we're going to go through. There's no way that I would know that. And you'd have an electrician go through your home. There's no way they're going to know that. They're not going to take the exhaust system apart and test every wire. I mean, how are you going to find out that that's an issue? You know, unfortunately, you know, until something happens. So thank you for sharing that. There was another operator a couple of years ago that had a fire in a newer facility that they had the recovery residents in, but it was because somebody had their phone charger plugged into the wall. Well, the phone charger was faulty and it started a fire. So again, just stuff you got to think about. People have their chargers plugged in. You don't know. It could be a faulty thing. They get hot. You know, heaters, people are plugging in, you know, space heaters and stuff. You shouldn't have space heaters in the home. It's a fire hazard. And so please make sure you're looking at your homes and you're monitoring things and because anything could happen. We want to keep everybody safe. So well, good. Thanks for bringing that up, Jason. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And we will see you next month. For those of you that are interested in joining the community of practice next week, maybe you're interested in maybe starting some data collection, reach out to Kelly and she can get you on that community of practice. And for those that are already doing the system, you'll be invited to the community practice. And if you can't join, please make sure somebody from your organization is going to be on there so that you'll have the information you need for the gentle handout. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.